The internet never sleeps, but last night, it exploded. Fans are shocked, timelines are on fire, and whispers have turned into full-blown digital screams as a so-called private video, tied to Kirk Frost allegedly surfaced and spread like wildfire. Screenshots, blurry clips, frantic DMs, everyone claims to have seen something, but no one can agree on what's real. And that's exactly where the chaos begins. Picture this. It's just another late-night scroll when a single post drops, cryptic and chilling. Y'all ready for the truth? Within minutes, fans are shocked as the post racks up thousands of shares. Emotions ran high as speculation spiraled out of control. Is it real? Is it fake? Who leaked it? And why now? The comments section turns into a battleground, with loyal supporters clashing against skeptics, and the family was left divided before sunrise. Behind the scenes, phones are ringing non-stop. Friends are calling friends. Family members are blindsided. Accusations fly as trust fractures in real time. One insider claims the video was meant to stay locked away forever. Another swears it was leaked out of spite. And then there's the silence, the kind that speaks louder than any denial. Fans are shocked by how fast everything unraveled, and the suspense tightens with every passing hour. As rumors swirl, old wounds reopen. Past betrayals resurface. Private arguments become public theater. Emotions ran high as people closest to the situation are forced to choose sides, and the family was left divided by secrets that refuse to stay buried. The question on everyone's lips isn't just what's in the video, it's what happens next. Tonight, we peel back the layers of a story that's part scandal, part spectacle, and entirely unbelievable. Heated confrontations, tearful phone calls, explosive revelations that nobody saw coming. Fans are shocked as alliances shift and lines are crossed. And just when you think the drama can't go any further, a twist threatens to change everything you thought you knew. Buckle up, because this isn't just another rumor. This is the moment the internet crowned Chaos King, and the fallout is only beginning. The night the clip allegedly surfaced, everything moved at a speed no one could control. Phones buzzed non-stop, group chats lit up, and fans are shocked at how fast a whisper turned into a roar. Inside a quiet house, Kirk sat frozen, staring at his screen as message after message piled up. Some were warnings, some were accusations, some were just 3 words repeated over and over again. Is this real? His chest tightened as the word viral began trending beside his name, and in that moment, emotions ran high in a way he hadn't felt in years. Across town, Rasheeda's phone rang relentlessly. She didn't answer at first. She already knew. The silence between each vibration felt heavier than any argument they had ever had. When she finally picked up, a friend's shaky voice spilled out everything at once, talking too fast, tripping over words, saying the internet was going crazy, saying people were tagging her, saying she needed to see something. Rasheeda closed her eyes, breathing slow, bracing herself for whatever was coming next. She had learned long ago that with fame, peace was always temporary. By the time she watched the clip, or at least what everyone claimed was the clip, the damage was already done. Blurry, cropped, impossible to fully make out, but clear enough to spark outrage. Fans are shocked because no one knew where it came from or who released it. Emotions ran high as people online filled in the blanks with their own stories, their own assumptions, their own judgments. Within hours, narratives were created, torn apart, and rebuilt again, each one more dramatic than the last. Kirk slammed his phone down on the table, pacing back and forth, replaying old conversations in his head. Who had access? Who had motive? Who had been angry enough to do this? Every name felt dangerous. Every memory felt suspicious. He called his lawyer, then his manager, then a friend who swore this kind of thing could be handled. But nothing sounded convincing. Nothing stopped the feeling that control had slipped through his fingers. Meanwhile, the family was left divided almost instantly. Some relatives rushed to defend him, insisting the video was fake, edited, manipulated. Others stayed quiet, their silence louder than any statement. One cousin unfollowed another. An aunt posted a cryptic quote about truth always coming to light. Fans are shocked not just by the alleged video, but by how quickly the cracks inside the family began to show. Rasheeda finally confronted Kirk late that night. The room was tense, thick with words that hadn't yet been spoken. She asked him one question, her voice calm but sharp enough to cut. Tell me everything. Kirk hesitated, and that pause changed everything. Emotions ran high as she reminded him how many times they had survived storms before, how many promises had been made behind closed doors. She wasn't yelling. She didn't have to. Disappointment filled the space between them like smoke. Online, reaction videos popped up by the minute. Influencers speculated wildly, claiming inside sources, swearing they knew the real story. Fans are shocked as old clips from the show were reposted, reframed as clues everyone supposedly missed. Every past argument was reinterpreted as foreshadowing. Every smile looked fake in hindsight. The narrative grew bigger than the people at the center of it. Kirk tried to release a short statement, carefully worded, denying involvement, questioning the authenticity of the clip. But it barely made a dent. Screenshots spread faster than facts. Memes turned a painful moment into entertainment. Emotions ran high as strangers debated the fate of a marriage they had watched for years but never truly knew. Behind closed doors, Rasheeda struggled with her own thoughts. Anger fought with loyalty. Love clashed with humiliation. She wondered who else had seen it, who would see it tomorrow, and what it meant for her own identity beyond being someone's wife. The family was left divided not just by sides but by silence, and she felt that division in every unanswered call. As dawn approached, Kirk sat alone, scrolling through comments he knew he shouldn't read. Some called him finished. Others defended him fiercely. A few claimed the video was just the beginning and more would come. That possibility lingered in the air like a threat. Fans are shocked because the story didn't feel complete. It felt like the opening scene of something much bigger. And somewhere, in the shadows of group chats and anonymous accounts, someone watched the chaos unfold, knowing exactly what they had set in motion, knowing the next move would change everything, and as the screen faded to black on that first night of scandal, emotions ran high with one question hanging unanswered: who really pressed upload? The morning after was worse than the night before. Kirk woke up to a phone vibrating so hard it nearly fell off the table, and before he even looked, he already knew nothing had slowed down. Fans are shocked because instead of fading, the story had multiplied. New angles of the same blurry clip were circulating, slowed down, zoomed in, dissected frame by people who had never met him but spoke like judges. Emotions ran high as commentators claimed they noticed details others missed, each one insisting their version was the truth. Rasheeda didn't sleep at all. She sat on the edge of the bed as the sun crept through the curtains, scrolling silently, stopping every few seconds to take a breath. Friends were texting support, but even their words felt heavy. Some messages hinted at sympathy, others at suspicion. The family was left divided further when one relative posted a video defending Kirk passionately, only for another family member to comment something that sounded like a warning. Fans are shocked watching private family tension spill into public view. Kirk tried to reach out to people he trusted, but every conversation felt strained. One longtime friend asked him straight up if there was anything else he should know. That question stung more than any insult online. Emotions ran high as Kirk realized doubt was spreading even among those who once stood firmly beside him. He insisted the clip wasn't what people thought, that it had been twisted, but every explanation sounded weaker the more he repeated it. By midday, rumors escalated. An anonymous account claimed there were multiple videos, not just one. Another alleged the clip was sent privately years ago and saved by someone who never forgot. Fans are shocked as these claims took on a life of their own, shared by blogs hungry for the next update. Emotions ran high when a popular commentator said this scandal could end everything they built together. Rasheeda finally spoke, not to the public, but to Kirk. Her voice cracked for the first time since the news broke. She asked him who else had ever had access to his phone, his accounts, his past. He listed names slowly, realizing each one was now a potential enemy. The family was left divided not just by belief, but by fear, as everyone wondered who could be trusted anymore. A heated argument followed, one that stayed behind closed doors but echoed loudly in both their minds. Rasheeda accused Kirk of being careless, of underestimating how dangerous secrets could be. Kirk fired back, saying he was being set up, that someone wanted to destroy him. Emotions ran high as years of unresolved issues resurfaced, layered beneath the current chaos. Neither felt heard, neither felt safe. Outside their home, fans gathered online like spectators at a trial. Hashtags trended, polls appeared asking who people believed. Fans are shocked by how easily the internet picked sides. Some praised Rasheeda's strength, urging her to walk away. Others mocked her loyalty, saying history was repeating itself. The family was left divided again as younger relatives defended her fiercely while others stayed loyal to Kirk. Then came the first real twist. A former associate reached out quietly, claiming to know where the clip came from. The message was vague, cautious, almost threatening in its restraint. Kirk's heart raced as he read it. Emotions ran high because this was the first time someone hinted at answers instead of accusations. But the associate wanted something in return: silence, protection, maybe even money. Rasheeda overheard the call and demanded to know who it was. Kirk hesitated again, and that hesitation reopened every wound from the night before. She accused him of choosing secrecy over honesty once more. The family was left divided emotionally inside that room, with love battling suspicion in real time. As evening fell, another clip surfaced, not clearer, but different enough to spark fresh outrage. Fans are shocked all over again, convinced this confirmed the worst assumptions. Emotions ran high as people claimed this proved Kirk had been lying since the beginning. Kirk felt the walls closing in, realizing the story was no longer about facts but about perception. Somewhere, the anonymous account went live, teasing a reveal, promising receipts, promising truth. Thousands tuned in within minutes. The comments flew faster than the host could read. Fans are shocked as the host hinted that the leak came from someone close, someone trusted, someone who felt betrayed long before the video ever surfaced. Kirk turned off the screen, his hands shaking. Rasheeda watched him silently, her expression unreadable. The family was left divided between hope and dread as they both understood one thing clearly now. This wasn't just about a video anymore. This was about loyalty, revenge, and secrets that were never meant to survive the dark. And as night settled in once again, emotions ran high with the sense that the worst was still ahead, because the truth, whatever it was circling closer. The live stream ended abruptly, cutting off mid-sentence, and that silence sent shockwaves through everyone watching. Fans are shocked because nothing fuels suspicion like an unfinished thought. Kirk sat back, staring at the dark screen, his mind racing faster than the comments ever could. Emotions ran high as he realized whoever was behind this knew exactly how to control the narrative without saying too much. It wasn't about proof anymore, it was about pressure. Rasheeda broke the silence in the room, asking the question Kirk had been avoiding all day. Who would hate you enough to do this? The way she said it wasn't angry, it was tired, like someone who had carried too many unanswered questions for too long. Kirk rubbed his face, naming possibilities out loud, former partners, old friends, business deals gone wrong. With every name, the family was left divided further in their own minds, because each possibility came with its own history of betrayal. Late that night, Kirk's phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't anonymous. It was someone he hadn't spoken to in years, someone from a chapter of his life he thought was buried. The message was simple but devastating. You should have handled things differently back then. Fans are shocked because when Kirk showed Rasheeda the message, it felt like confirmation that the past had finally caught up to them. Emotions ran high as Rasheeda demanded context. Kirk explained reluctantly, talking about old conflicts, promises made in private, trust broken quietly. Every word felt like reopening a wound. She listened without interrupting, but the look in her eyes shifted from confusion to realization. The family was left divided not by anger, but by understanding that this scandal didn't come out of nowhere. It had roots. By morning, blogs were reporting that insiders claimed Rasheeda had known more than she was letting on. Fans are shocked at how quickly sympathy turned into suspicion. Comments accused her of protecting Kirk, of playing a role, of choosing image over truth. Emotions ran high as she read these accusations, feeling betrayed by strangers who had once praised her strength. She finally snapped, not publicly, but privately, throwing her phone onto the couch and saying she was done being silent. Kirk tried to calm her, but his words came too late. She accused him of letting the internet decide their story because he waited too long to tell her everything. The argument escalated, voices rising, years of unresolved pain spilling out in one explosive moment. The family was left divided inside that house's walls echoed with truths that had been avoided for too long. Meanwhile, the anonymous account posted again, this time hinting at a name. Not fully revealed, just enough clues to send fans into detective mode. Screenshots of old photos, captions analyzed word by word. Fans are shocked as one name began trending, someone loosely connected to Kirk's past but close enough to feel personal. Emotions ran high as people flooded that person's page with accusations, threats, and demands for answers. Kirk felt a mix of panic and anger. If that person was involved, exposing them publicly could make everything worse. He debated reaching out, knowing it could look like guilt, but doing nothing felt just as dangerous. Rasheeda watched him struggle, torn between wanting the truth and wanting peace. The family was left divided emotionally as they both realized there might be no outcome without damage. Then came another twist. A friend of Rasheeda's called, claiming the video had been offered to multiple outlets weeks before it leaked. This wasn't impulsive, it was planned. Fans are shocked hearing this theory spread, realizing someone had been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Emotions ran high as Rasheeda confronted Kirk again, asking why this moment, why now? Kirk had no answer, only the sinking feeling that someone wanted to hurt them when it would hurt the most. Late that evening, Kirk finally made contact with the person hinted at online. The call was tense, filled with long pauses and carefully chosen words. The person didn't deny knowing about the video, but didn't admit leaking it either. Instead, they spoke about betrayal, about being forgotten, about promises that meant nothing once cameras stopped rolling. Emotions ran high as Kirk realized this wasn't just revenge, it was resentment years in the making. Rasheeda listened from the doorway, her heart sinking with every word she overheard. The family was left divided between empathy and fury as she understood that someone else felt deeply wronged too. But understanding didn't erase the humiliation she felt now, watching her life dissected for clicks. As the call ended, Kirk leaned against the wall, defeated. Rasheeda asked him one final question that night. "Is there anything else out there?" Kirk hesitated, then shook his head, but the doubt lingered in the air. Fans are shocked because that same doubt was shared by millions watching from afar, convinced the story was far from over. Outside, the internet kept spinning theories, waiting for the next drop, the next confession, the next explosion. Inside, the couple sat in silence, realizing that no matter what happened next, nothing would ever go back to how it was before that first clip went viral. Emotions ran high as the night closed in once again, with the feeling that the truth was closer, but so was the fallout that would come with it. The next few days blurred together, marked by tension so thick it felt like it had weight. Kirk barely left the house, curtains drawn, television muted but constantly flashing his name across the screen. Fans are shocked because the story refused to cool down. Instead, it evolved, mutating with every retelling. Emotions ran high as commentators debated not just the video, but Kirk's character, his past, and his future, turning years of footage and rumors into ammunition. Rasheeda tried to maintain a sense of normalcy, but even simple moments felt staged now. Every laugh felt forced, every silence suspicious. She caught herself wondering how many people were watching her reactions, waiting for her to slip. The family was left divided again when a close relative suggested she should publicly distance herself to protect her image. That suggestion hit harder than any insult online. Kirk overheard that conversation and snapped. He accused everyone of abandoning him when he needed them most. Voices rose, old grudges resurfaced, and the room became a battlefield of loyalty versus survival. Emotions ran high as Rasheeda defended herself, saying she had stood by him more times than anyone knew. Her voice broke when she said she was tired of cleaning up messes she didn't create. Outside their circle, fans are shocked as new so-called insiders emerge, each claiming exclusive knowledge. One blogger insisted the video was only a distraction from a bigger secret. Another claimed a legal battle was already underway behind the scenes. None of it was confirmed, but confirmation didn't matter anymore. Belief was enough. One afternoon, a former castmate went live, carefully choosing words but clearly implying that this scandal didn't surprise them. That single moment reignited everything. Emotions ran high as fans dissected the live stream, accusing that castmate of knowing more than they were saying. The family was left divided yet again as Kirk debated confronting them publicly while Rasheeda begged him not to pour gasoline on the fire. Then came another devastating twist. A private conversation between Kirk and a supposed confidant leaked, not a video, just audio, distorted but recognizable enough to stir outrage. Fans are shocked because the voice sounded defensive, frustrated, human. Emotions ran high as people argued whether it proved guilt or simply fear. Kirk felt violated all over again, realizing someone he trusted had recorded him. That betrayal cut deeper than the original leak. Kirk shut down, withdrawing into himself, barely speaking. Rasheeda watched him spiral, torn between compassion and exhaustion. The family was left divided emotionally as some urged her to step back for her own peace, while others insisted this was the moment to stand united. Late one night, unable to sleep, Rasheeda scrolled through messages from women who said they saw themselves in her. Some thanked her for her strength. Others warned her not to lose herself trying to save someone else. Emotions ran high as she realized her silence was becoming its own statement, interpreted 1,000 different ways. Kirk finally broke his silence, not online, but in a raw conversation with Rasheeda. He admitted he had been careless in the past, not necessarily about the video itself, but about the people he trusted, the boundaries he blurred. It wasn't a full confession, but it wasn't denial either. The family was left divided in that moment between the relief of honesty and the fear of what it implied. As word spread that Kirk might be preparing a longer public statement, anticipation grew. Fans are shocked, waiting to see whether he would deny everything, admit something, or blame someone else entirely. Emotions ran high as teasers and countdowns appeared on social media, turning a personal crisis into a scheduled event. Rasheeda questioned whether a statement would help or hurt. She worried about reopening wounds, about giving critics new material. Kirk argued that silence was killing him. The argument wasn't loud this time, just heavy, filled with resignation. The family was left divided internally as both understood there was no perfect move left. When the statement finally dropped, it was longer than expected, emotional but vague. Kirk spoke about betrayal, about being human, about mistakes without naming them. Fans are shocked by how carefully he avoided specifics. Emotions ran high as supporters praised his vulnerability while critics called it manipulation. Nothing was settled. Nothing was proven. Everything was intensified. Almost immediately, the anonymous account responded with a single post. Not evidence, just a sentence. "This isn't over." That threat reignited panic. Kirk felt sick reading it, knowing someone still held power over his life. Rasheeda felt a chill realizing this could drag on indefinitely. As night fell again, the couple sat together, not touching, but not apart either. The family was left divided between hope that the worst had passed and fear that something bigger was still coming. Fans are shocked because the story no longer felt like gossip. It felt like a slow unraveling, one revelation at a time. Somewhere, someone was still watching, waiting for the right moment to strike again. And as the lights dimmed in that quiet room, emotions ran high with the unspoken understanding that the next move would decide everything, not just for Kirk, but for everyone caught in the fallout that refused to fade. So now it's your turn. After everything you've just heard, every accusation, every silence, every moment where emotions ran high and the family was left divided, the biggest questions are still hanging in the air. What do you really believe? Do you think this was all a setup, a calculated betrayal years in the making, or do you feel there's still a truth we haven't seen yet? Fans are shocked, divided, and arguing non-stop, but your voice matters just as much as anyone else's watching right now. You've seen how fast loyalty can turn into doubt, how quickly the internet can build someone up or tear them down. You've watched as private moments became public chaos, and as relationships were tested in ways no one ever expects. Emotions ran high not just for the people involved, but for everyone watching from the outside, because stories like this hit close to home. Trust, betrayal, forgiveness, and pride are things we all understand, even if we've never lived under a spotlight. So ask yourself, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Would you speak out immediately or stay silent? Would you protect your image or protect your family? Would you confront the past head-on, or hope it stays buried? The family was left divided because there are no easy answers, and that's exactly why this story has everyone talking. Now I want you to let me know what you think. Scroll down to the comments and tell your version of the truth. Do you think the worst is over, or is there another twist waiting to explode? Do you believe the statements that were made, or do you feel someone out there is still holding on to something bigger? Fans are shocked by how many different opinions are out there, and your comment could spark the next big conversation. And if you've been hooked from the very first moment, if this story made you pause, think, or even question what you thought you knew, make sure you show that support. Hit that like button because it tells the algorithm you want more stories like this. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next update, the next reveal, or the next shocking turn in this ongoing drama. Trust me, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that stories like this never end quietly. Turn on your notifications so when the next chapter drops, you're the first to know. No delays, no catching up later, just straight into the chaos as it unfolds. Because if another clip surfaces, if another voice speaks out, if another betrayal comes to light, you'll want to be here when it happens. Share this video with someone who loves drama just as much as you do, someone who will watch it and immediately say, "Wait, what just happened?" Keep the conversation going, keep the theories coming, and keep your eyes open, because in stories like this, silence never lasts forever. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and remember, in a world where everything can go viral overnight, the truth is rarely simple, loyalty is always tested, and the next twist is usually closer than you think. We'll see you in the next one.